Good evening, everyone. Today is our special English-speaking day, where we invite people from the STEAM community, the delegates, the witnesses, and well, I'm kind of at a loss here slightly, so because and today we have. Oh, okay. I have to stop. I have to stop this. I have to stop this. Okay, so hopefully more people would join us. I'm throwing the links as we speak everywhere. Where's the main channel? Okay, this is the main channel. Oh, we have 2 viewers now. Hopefully, we'll have some more. And here we go. Okay, right now we have 2 people from the Russian community and Arkanj. Do I pronounce it this right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Anyway, hopefully someone else will join us. Did I post a link already? Oh, yeah. So on Discord and in other chats. Well, I don't actually have a theme today, but I think that now that we have Golos running for how long? For a couple of months now. I remember that I saw a post from you that compared the dynamics between the start of Steemit and start of Golos. And I think that would be an interesting discussion because as far as I can see right now, we have some really interesting synchronicities between things on Steemit and on Golos. Because on Golos right now we have lots of conversations about what people would like and wouldn't like to see on the blockchain and their flagging and stuff like that. And with the joining of Alexa Nova, well, there has been a discussion what people would like and wouldn't like to see on Steemit, and they've been flagging as well. A lot of it has to do with the functionality for the clients to be able to opt in or opt out or stuff like that with the content you would like to see and wouldn't like to see. And I'm sure that the developers are working on it, but I'd like you to talk about maybe your position, and while you are talking, I'll try to get some more people, and then we'll be able to listen to their opinion. Is that okay?
Yeah, okay. You want me to talk?
Yep.
Yeah. About what I'm expecting on Golos, I want to know if so I know developers are working on integrating new economics like in Steemit with the hard fork 16.
Yeah.
So we have no announcement on when it will be integrated in the Golos blockchain.
The thing is, as far as I remember, they talked about implementing it in January, like maybe 20th of January, like 19 or something like that. But a lot of people are asking if we are going to have enough liquidity about because by the time that particular date comes, there would be only 81 million tokens, and most of them are going to be in Golos Power. And they're questioning if it's going to lead to more centralization, because Steam had the time to vest and to hyperinflate, and when the changes came, there were about like 200 million Steam tokens, I think. And well, I suspect that's one of the biggest questions about the new economics is if it's going to be a good thing, or should we wait like maybe till March or till, I don't know, February or like even May before implementing it. Well, maybe, and I know that Losha Lehar, he made some calculations, he did some modeling on how those two models compare to each other. And in the long term, both of them are going to result in well, in more or less the same distribution of the tokens, but in the short term, he thinks that, and I know that a lot of people agree with him, that we should wait for maybe a couple of months before implementing it. Another point is that if we wait with implementing that hard fork, it means that we're going to be a little behind on the technological innovation that's going with it, and we'll either have to, Denis here, he got us some links, and I'm going to post them to this chat here. Well, we have only one person watching us right now. Hopefully someone would be able to talk a little bit, and I'll be able to get some more people here. Okay, here's this one.
About the changes, yeah, I agree that me maybe need to wait longer to become more Golos tokens systems, so we can have a similar share of tokens distributed like in Steam, like delegates reward and curators and authors rewards to be compatible in percentage. Because if we switch just right now, for example, delegates pay will be 16 times lower this current.
Yeah, my question was more about the technical side of the switch rather than the economic side. I'm not the best economic man.
Well, as far as I understand, one of the points about the new economics is that more people would be able to exit to remove their investment from the Golos power, and that would allow it to spread, but that's also going to be a lot of delegates are a little worried, because right now, if the price stays stable, and right now it's somewhere between I think 1 and 2 rubles per Golos token, it means that delegates are paid. Well, it's just enough to support the node, but it's probably not enough yet to to support any other projects. And with the payment coming, if the Golos is going to behave the same way that Steam token behaved, the price is going to spike. Maybe it's going to be 10 rubles, maybe it's going to be closer to $1. I'm not sure. Okay, so Denis says that right now Golos is more like 5 rubles. It's about 70 cents per Golos, is it? I don't think that 70 cents and 5 rubles are the same. Maybe like 7 cents, 80 cents. What? 10 cents is like 10 rubles is like 16 cents as far as I remember. I checked maybe yesterday with the so you're talking more about not cents, maybe like Satoshi, right? I think we're confusing. I think we are confusing our currencies here. So one golos is like that's three zeros after. Well, I'm not really versed in counting satoshis because I never really got into Bitcoin. So it's probably 10,000. It's 10,000 Satoshi.
Yes, 10,000 Bitcoin. And Bitcoin has.
I know the system, but I'm not really comfortable with saying like 300 Satoshi or 30,000 Satoshi, and that's what everyone who is in Bitcoin is doing. I'm more comfortable with I'll get there eventually, but I'm kind of a newbie here, so I'm the guy that's you should probably be talking about it. Anyway, so as far as Denise says, right now Golos token is more about 5 rubles. At the eco it was like maybe 1 or 2, so it's somewhere between. So it's something like right now it's valued at maybe 4 times as much as on the initial coin offering. But with the amount of liquidity that is available right now, the price is probably not what it's going to settle on as soon as the economics is going to launch.
Yeah.
But anyway, possibly right now is a good price to buy as long as you are staying below this this price that we're talking about right now. But the question is, well, I'm not sure. I think that we should probably look at what Bitcoin did when the price started going up. How much Bitcoin was there? 10 million? 10 million? I'm not sure. Well, I remember seeing that I think tomorrow there's going to be a talk with Tonways, and it's going to be Ask Me Anything, and it's going to be really, really interesting. I'm personally going to watch it if I'm able to. I'm not sure what's the Moscow time is going to be, but probably in the dead of night. If I'm up at that moment, I'll watch it. If not, well, I'll watch the recordings. But there was a talk with Tonways when Ned, Dan, and Tonways and people at Whalepool talked. It was about a couple of days ago. It was really interesting because they really set the record straight, because there's a lot of FUD. Well, I prefer the term FNORD, but that's how I roll. Anyway, so a lot of people, they see a lot of FNORDs around Steemit, and the thing is, what's I'm more interested is not, well, actually it's also about economics, but it's also about, behavior of people. A lot of people are discussing about censoring this or that. Well, discouraging. Of course, they use the word discouraging. They're saying like, we don't want to see this kind of content here, or we don't want to see some other kind of content here. And as far as I understand, on Steemit for a long time, you could post anything as long as it was unique and it wasn't illegal in a lot of jurisdictions. And that would be okay. People, if they didn't like it, they wouldn't vote for it, and you'd be discouraged by, expending some effort into posting this, and then not receiving anything, and then you usually moved on. but in Russia, people have more, probably strong opinions about stuff they don't like. Well, but we still have well, our Russian reality around us, and nothing changed. So they probably sublimate it by making the corner of the internet the way they like it to be. So it's kind of a little, bumming me out, but that's my personal opinion. And I'm not sure if the way that I would like to see Golos and the way that they want to see Golos, which way is better for Golos. And right now I have like, well, at least 3 other people here, and I want to talk about this. I'd like to listen to your opinion. Okay? Denis?
I support more clients.
Well, that's a really that's a really good thing, and one of the things that we kind of have it as a running gag, because it's going to be released after the new year, maybe in January or in February, is the CSKO, which is like, the and it's going to be a everything goes type of client. So we are going to have something that restricts the flagging ability. The UE doesn't have flag, so if you don't like something, you don't vote for it, and it's is going to be centered about adult things, something that you are not going to show to your nephew. I mean, one of the things about different content that's discouraging Golos right now is that, okay, I'm going to have my niece or my nephew here soon, and I wouldn't like them to see this. And that's kind of a, well, I mean, a lot of people, they have this, kind of parental controls on the internet. It's, well, I'm not sure. I think that my childhood was a little more free in this area, but probably it was a little bit traumatic, because a lot of things that I saw when I was like maybe 13, I shouldn't have. I mean, there was a lot of, horror movies and stuff like that. But I I don't think it was all that bad. But because that's my experience, and it kind of shaped me into who I am. I'm not sure that I'm the best person to make a decision if it was good for me or bad. I'm content with how I turned out. That's what I think. But a lot of people, they think that they know better about how they want their, I don't know, children or their nieces, their, I don't know, maybe their friends' children to turn out, and they want to safeguard them from this or that. But that's probably a different area that we should talk about. Well, we shouldn't talk about this in that way. Those little guys, they are on internet, and the internet has everything if they are crafty enough. And as far as I remember, when my parents, they restricted what I should or shouldn't do with my computers, it kind of meant that I had to become craftier. So that's probably, so some restrictions are probably a good thing for some people, but not for others. And that's actually what's kind of a, I think I've been doing those talks here since Monday, I think. And that's so the main thing I'm talking about. Like, are the restrictions good or bad? And I know that if you are talking about censorship, that's a no-no. Dan posted a really good article about that yesterday, a couple of days ago, and we're going to translate it into Russian, and that's actually what I'm going to do, because it really resonates with the situation that I'm really involved in, with all this. This should go or this shouldn't go, and this is going to help us gain more capitalization, or this is going to hinder us, and stuff like that. Your thoughts?
I see CSKI like a good initiative, maybe moving adult content to somewhere else. Anyway, I think when you build a community, and especially we saw it on Steemit, the community will auto-regulate the content. As you said, if people don't like it, they won't vote for it, and then people posting in interesting things for the community will be bored and will go away slowly. I don't see a lot of adult content or outrageous content on Steemit, even when there was a spike in July. So I'm not. I saw an initiative from Lhat. He said he will create something based on blockchain too, for authors to publish novels and stories. I'm not sure it's a good idea to build so many things away from Golos or on side of Golos, because currently we are trying to attract as much new user as possible, and building too many things on the side of Golos may makes them move away from Golos, my opinion.
Well, that's actually what I'm talking about. So we have some more people, and they're bringing their sensibilities, their art, or the interests to the blockchain, and people are like, we don't want to see your kind here. Instead of like, yeah, if you're coming and if you're going to bring more people here, that's a good thing. So it's kind of, I'm not sure. Well, everyone is like, we want to see more people here, but they're kind of hostile to some of the new people. I think it has something to do with the fact that Russia is really fragmented into those little subcultures, and they kind of don't interact that much, and when they do, there's kind of some kind of clash of sensibilities or something like that. That's probably a reason why at this moment Steam has some other clients. Well, there's I know that there's a Tor client that doesn't censor anything, and that displays NSFW tags and stuff like that. And I know that people are working on other clients that are going to be more social network. Yeah, I actually would like to see Nate or who's developing it? Fabio, I think. Fabian?
Fabian, yes.
I'm talking about Busy here, yeah. And that's for a lot of people, this whole thing that we want original content, we want unique content, is kind of a turn-off, because it's kind of as with art. A lot of people who are into art, well, at least that's probably not what I should be talking about. So one of our art teachers, he said, like, if you look at the modern art, it's something that you see and you can say, yeah, I can do something like this. Because if you look at the classical art, you look and you see and you get this, well, aesthetic arrest. But then you are like discouraged because it's not something that you can do off the bat. You have to study and you have to practice and you have to do stuff like this. And the culture kind of discourages stuff like this. It's something that you should feel better after interacting with it, and that's not it. And for a lot of people, the social networks they allow them to post, shit. They can post stuff about their lives, but then they can post, kittens and well, whatever, which is kind of all of the internet is filled with, and it's something that people like, and this whole kind of elite feeling that they say, like, yeah, we're working our ass off to make this content, but everyone else doesn't like it. What? And everyone else is like, you should probably, up your game and post something better, and then we'll vote for it and you'll receive money. And for a lot of people, this is kind of a really attractive once they understand how it works, because as far as I'm concerned, being on Steam, it kind of really improved what I do and made me realize this whole thing, how much effort I'd like to spend on making something original and be repaid, because if it's too much effort, it is probably not something for me. Something like that. Anyway, let's open a... Denise, can I ask you to screencast for us?
Yeah.
Could you open those posts about the new economics, please?
Okay.
And in a moment, we'll have those posts.
Yeah, you see them?
Yeah, could you roll them? There's going to be some graphs there.
It's mostly on second.
I think it's in second one.
Second one, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Woohoo! We have some more new people. Hello, P-Funk.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, it's great to see you.
Who's this?
It's Xanox, whatever.
Oh, hey.
And kind of, I've been co-hosting this for, well, since Friday, I think, or like Thursday. And Anya, she's on a train right now. She's coming to St. Petersburg for a meetup, and because a lot of people are, well, I have no idea what I should be talking about, and I'm kind of, rolling with it, doing my best, and it's really nice to see some more people coming.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I missed the first bit. I keep forgetting it's on a Wednesday because, it used to be on the Fridays.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
So how's Golos going?
Well, I think we are doing, I think that Golos is doing a lot like Steemit, because a lot of questions that are important for Golos right now are also important for Steemit. We've been talking about, some new people with new sensibilities and new kind of content join Golos and Steam it, and a lot of controversy is the same. So on Steam it we have Alexa Nova, and a lot of people are encouraging her, and a lot of people are flagging her.
Yeah.
And then Golos we have some other more, they're kind of probably weirder things, because there's a guy I know who I invited and who's posting an artwork, his artwork, and his artwork is a little disturbing. He's not, he's in a depression, and people are started to flag it, saying that it's not something I'd like my nephew to see or my niece to see, and I'm going to get them on Golos soon, so probably you get a flag, and that's actually what's happening with Alexa, because she's a porn actress and she's posting about her life and her work, and those posts are not safe for work, and so a lot of people are, yeah. So that's what we are talking about. This is Kolya. His artwork, it's a little disturbing, and I'd like to see the one that's flagged. Is there the one that it's called Sex and Death, this one. Yeah, so it's got flagged with the flag with the saying that it's not something I'd like my nephew to see or something like that.
I see.
Yeah.
Can you link it? I'm just curious.
It's on the it's in the please send the link. So here's my friend. Well, he's not my friend. He's an acquaintance, and he's going through a not so good phase, and he's from a little bit depressive region. And I'm saying, like, you should bring it to Golos maybe, and people would vote for it, and yeah, they did a little bit, but
that's awesome.
Yeah, and actually I'm going to suggest him that he should go to Steam it, because I think people would appreciate it a lot more there.
I think
it's probably not something that, and the best thing is that Steam has a working economy, and he could get well, here he gets 100 rubles, there he might get $50 or $100, and that's kind of a big difference.
Right. That's some really cool stuff, though. I'm surprised people are flagging that. I mean, it's not happy and jolly, I suppose, but it's not necessarily even graphic. It doesn't look like. It just looks really dark, I guess.
Yeah, it is dark.
Some of the best art ever, some of the most critically acclaimed art ever is very dark. So it's strange. But what I could maybe add is, have you guys seen the development? I don't think it's implemented on steamit.com yet, but it was put up on the test server, and I'm not sure if that test server is up, but I'm going to go see if it is. But there is a Roadscape. Oh yeah, it is. So Roadscape, and I'll try to find a not safe for work post so you can see how it works, or I'll just maybe link to Alexa's profile.
Can you screencast?
I cannot. I don't have it set up for that, and it'll probably take too long.
Okay, not a problem. Link it here, and Dennis will screencast for us.
Yeah, I'm seeing if it's still there. I think it should be. But Roadscape made a not safe for work sort of indicator thing where you would click you have to click something to see the post thumbnail and maybe the title even. God, it's not loading, but I'm just gonna see if maybe it'll load for you guys.
Okay.
And then I'll try to find the the GitHub.
Okay, well, let's see if it's going to load for me. I can't screencast because if I try to, this one thing would crash. and I haven't figured out what's up with that yet. But as soon as I do, maybe. But no, it's not.
Yeah, it didn't
No.
want to work for me.
It's saying waiting for testing.com, and well, it's not opening.
Yeah, so the front page of test.steemit.com opens, but I'm getting a 504 gateway timeout. So I'm going to try to find the GitHub issue where this is explained. But you know, it's already built, and it's just kind of waiting to be implemented into Steemit, and it should be pretty easily implementable into Golos as well. So trying to search as fast as I can. All right, I think I found it. So right there is the place where the issue is on GitHub. Oh, there we go. We got it up on DR 2073.
Oh yeah, I can see this. There was a misspelling on your link, and yeah. This post is NSF. You can reveal it, or you can create an account to save your preferences. Yeah, this is great. This is what we should have to, yay. This is great.
Yep. So yeah, check out the GitHub issue. It should have a link to the poll request, or I think it will.
I think that's one of the things that would kind of make people who are all fussy in their panties about this kind of stuff to chill out. And we have to get Misha to implement this, if that's possible. I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if it's going to happen real soon, because I know that some of the code depends on the blockchain, and we're a little behind you guys. But hopefully this. I think I'll go and write an issue on Golos or GitHub about this. Is something that should be pulled into our Or Denise is a witness. I think that's something that he should do, right? Denise, please do this. You do me a great favor, and I think everyone a great favor. And I'm already voting for you. But if you do this, I try to vote for you, twice or something. Anyway, yeah, this is really great. I mean, this would solve a lot of problems on our in our community. This is cool. Anything else cool going in Steamland that we should, implement?
I mean, there's a lot of development, and it's hard for me to just pick out everything and compare it to Golos. Are you guys? Is somebody working on the notifications for Golos?
Well, we have a Telegram bot that does the notifications.
Yep.
And it's quite decent hack for while we don't have notifications yet. But well, I'm not really sure about this. Well,
actually, developers are working to merge lots Steam changes to Golos, so it probably notification will be in this process activated too. Probably.
Well, everything that is on Steemit is coming to Golos, and right now there's a lot of discussions about people gathered all this money to develop our branch of our kind of fork, our franchise, and how they should spend all these resources. And so far, I know that there are 5 people working on Steam Steam clients, steemits.com, and we already have a front-end developer. And the idea right now, the consensus right now, as far as I understand it, I may be not correct, but that's what I think is going on, is that our front-end developer is going to collaborate with Steemits front-end developers, and he's going to develop features that Russian community requests, and they're going to first appear on Steemit, and then they're going to be backported to Golos.io.
Okay.
So when I remember that when this whole idea was going, people were like, probably this is something that is going to divide the community. Probably this is going to, drain the Steemit's resources and stuff like this. But as far as I can see, it's actually going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a win-win for Golos and Steemit, that's awesome.
Another thing that today I read this article in Esquire that they parsed all of the opinion polls in Russia for that happened in 2016, and then they parsed the results and compiled them together, and they have this small list that goes like 1% of Russians do this, 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 and this, and it goes all to like 99%. And one of those things is something that really kind of I knew that a lot of Russians, they don't speak other languages, but it says like 86% of Russians, they don't speak any other foreign language. So I think Golos is really, really needed in post-USSR space, because a lot of people, they don't, speak English, and that's something, that's allowed me to prosper a little bit, because I did some translations for people, and they paid me some SBDs. I'm kind of, I think, till maybe October, I was one of the heaviest users of SBDs for, for transactions. I did some services, people paid me, and everyone was happy.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that Golos, is pretty special in that, hopefully it will provide a different avenue that's not going to be under the control of the Russian government for speech and expression. I don't know the political situation very well in Russia, but I know that the administration there seems to want to have control over media, and if Golos is able to evade that, that's great.
Do you know that one of the arguments they use to strengthen the control on the media is like, do you know that in other countries the governments control the media and the internet and everything more strictly than here in Russia? So we want to follow suit after the America and Europe and everyone else, because you guys are getting a little too comfortable. And everyone is like, what? It's because no one likes when the government, gets into their business, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's partially true for some media outlets. They're not controlled really, like the BBC and PBS in America, and then America also has like the propaganda one called Voice of America that doesn't actually, like, they're not supposed to be broadcasting. They're not supposed to be broadcasting to Americans, or, you know, broadcasting or writing for the audience of Americans. But you know, the media, the media in the West, at least, you know, in UK and America, and you know, Australia and more English-speaking parts of the world, it's more, it's still controlled by an agenda-holding group of people, but it's not government; it's more corporate. But so far, I don't know. The corporate media has pluses and minuses, but it's not generally under the centralized government control. And it's less centralized than a single government, but it's still getting, you know, it's still centralized and getting more centralized, which is, you know, part of why a place like Steemit is good, because even Reddit is, you know, under
shadow banning and stuff like that. I heard about that.
They're becoming more corporate. So
actually, that's one of the reasons why I really liked when Serежа told me, like, you should do this venture with Golos thing, because I worked on TV for a while, and I know how it works. And we had one of the few free channels in Russia. It was it was centered on the market news and stuff like that, you know, the economics, but it went under in 2013. So, but with this YouTube broadcasting with some, you know, polishing, a lot of work, it could be made into a news channel that does, you know, maybe once a day hourly translation with the news around the world, and with people who are gathering the news, fact checking, stuff like this, and it can be done on a professional level. I'm sure that a lot of people are doing this, and it's more of a you know, kind of entertainment thing, because that's what pays. But with Steemit, with those things, if people are interested in the news around the world that are sourced by the people from those places, and they all have different opinions, and they all kind of probably suffer a little bit from propaganda from their countries. But if we can gather all of those people together in one place, we could kind of find the, you know, consensus and see what is going on in the world on more objective level, something like that. That's well, actually, what I want to see in maybe a year or a couple of years doing this.
Definitely, and you hope it's objective.
Well, that's what fact checking is. You know, it's all the news is actually kind of subjective. But if you bring this this side and this side of the argument, and you show the arguments, and you say, like, it seems like those guys or those guys, or you say, like, so this is the one end of the story, this is the other end of the story, make up your own mind.
Yep.
That's going to, well, work, maybe. Yeah. Well, I hope it's something.
I've noticed, I mean, you know, this is true for any biased media, but I've noticed that, you know, the Russian propaganda, Western propaganda channel, the Russia Today, I've noticed that their reporting seems to be pretty good, as long as the narrative fits the Russian government's you know, view of the world. But they'll completely ignore anything that the Russian policy says is you know, that the Russian policy would disagree with, or they'll heavily spin anything, any news that has to do with the Russian policy towards that, if it's not in line with the existing policy. So I definitely, you know, yellow journalism has never been more alive these days.
Well, the thing is, as far as I understand, in a lot of people's opinion, Russia today is kind of Golos of America, Voice of America
Yep.
thing. But a lot of people remember listening to Voice of America, and one of the better things going for it, as far as Russians were concerned, was the music.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's actually a really true thing. A lot of people listen to Voice of America because they had really good music. Anyway, but Russia today, as you say, it does pretty good journalism. Of course, because this is a media channel, and we are in the era where the wars are, kind of a hybrid thing. So any information channel that is controlled by the government, or at least funded by the government, is also a weapon.
Yeah.
One of the ways to look at it is like, yeah, this is probably a good source of information, but even then, you should always remember that any source of information in the internet is a weapon, even if it's run by someone independent and not backed by anyone. They are. It's their individual weapon, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely see. Yeah, I mean, the media is used as a weapon. I see what you
Well,
mean.
and actually, what I perceive the Golos blockchain to be is kind of also, a really, with this whole Dan's post about, evil plans to take over the world.
Yeah.
This is kind of it's also, a weapon, because as far as my interaction with Steam and Steemit went, it really, changes the way you think about things, especially if you are, flexible enough to change, and I hope that as time goes on, those people who are on Golos are going to change and become more, flexible and more open to different opinions and stuff like that. Because today I'm kind of little, depressed as far as this thing goes. Like, you shouldn't post this, or those guys are. This is pseudoscience. They should kind of not grace us with their presence, because they're going to bring more people here like that. And as far as my opinion goes, if you are pro science, pro logic, do education trumps trumps censorship as
Yeah.
far as things go. It's a little slower, but if you forbid something, it's not going to go away.
Yeah. Archange, I saw you unmuted your mic. Did you have something to add?
Yes, we are talking about difference of culture. Xstar was asking me a question, because in January there will be the first payout. And so he asked me if I can do or publish some statistics about the forthcoming payout, to see who earned what. I was a bit reluctant to do it for two reasons. The first is cultural, as you said. Here in Europe, we don't talk much about what we earn. So that's my education. And next, I was saying to him, I want to show something different than always the best one. I want everybody to have hope, and not always showing that you earn a lot of, some people earn a lot of money. And I think each time we talk about money, and I saw it on Steemit, and I start to see it now on Golos because rewards are raising. It creates frustration among some users, and then they go away. So
That's true.
I wanted to know your opinion on this. Should I publish this kind of thing or not? And how will react Russian people?
Well, actually, I think that for some of those people, it's going to be kind of a wake-up call, because this very week, another discussion that we are having on Golos is about the payouts, and a lot of people are kind of they are posting things that are mediocre or worse, and they are complaining that there's guys who know the whales, and everyone they are getting those big payouts, and we are getting breadcrumbs. And why is that happening? And well, the thing is, most of these people, they know each other. They are active on the chats. They have all this networking thing going, and the Golos is same as real life. You are not known, even if you post something that's really really breathtaking, and no one sees it, or no one pays any attention, then they're not going to vote for it. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but some people are also saying you should probably take it as a cue to start doing something, or start posting something better, maybe start promoting your work better, network, stuff like this. And for a lot of people, this is going to be a good thing, because I know that there is a well, it's not a bet officially, but it's kind of an official one with one of the there's this guy called Siren Shaman, and he says like, yeah, those are whales, and as soon as the payout comes, they're going to be in a better position, and the things will become more centralized. And I'm saying, yeah, but my experience watching how it operates on Steemit says that it's going to be more decentralized. And so, and there's this girl, and she's saying, I'm going to earn my way to the top, and she's doing really great because she posts amazing stuff. And she says, I'm going to earn my way to the top. And he's like, yeah, you're not going to. So they have kind of a thing running, and I'm kind of, my prediction is that she is going to be high on the payout list. For example, I'm not going to be high on the payout list, even that I know all the whales and stuff like that. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. Because I'm lazy, because I don't post that often, and my opinions are controversial, and I'm not going to, come and go and suck up to anyone. That's not how I roll. Yeah, I like to have cordial relations with all the people who are open to having cordial relations, but I'm not going to bend over backwards for that. If they don't want to, I'd rather not have a conversation with them. I'm not going to talk to them. That's how it works. And for a lot of people, this is going to be like, if you do it maybe by, one of the things is that there's a good idea to show payouts by tag, like, so food paid out this much, poetry paid out this much, life paid out this much, goals paid out this much, blockchain paid out this much. Yes, that's a valid concern that for a lot of people who have a lot of stake, posts about blockchain are more interesting than posts about food. That's true. That's a fact of life. But that's not a only thing that's important. And a lot of people, they said like, we're going to promote posts about philosophy and science and stuff like this. And they do if those posts are good. Yeah, even if you are not going to post them publicly, compiling those stats is going to be a good thing. I'm personally going to pay you a little bit if you will show them to me. That's a thing. That's kind of a promise. I can't promise how much I'll be able to pay, but you know, if that's going to tip your you know, opinion in this way or that.
Okay, so that's something I can do. The idea of publishing payouts by category, it's a very good idea, and I will publish it. For example, my hit parade, a lot of people ask me to do it on weekly or monthly basis. I prefer to do it daily because it gives more chance to people to get in. Because one day someone doing a very good post could be in the hit parade. If I do it on a monthly basis, we will only see the top of the mountain.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. That's why I continue to do it daily.
Oh yeah. I really appreciate that. It's kind of cool. And that's actually kind of also illustrates those concerns that people have. But as far as I understand them, and as far as they go, it's kind of, please write better stuff, and I vote for everything that I like. If I read this and it's remotely useful, it's unique, and it's interesting, and the writing is good, even if it's something that I say, this has a lot of potential, I vote for it. My vote gives like 11 kopecks. It's 11 hundredths of for 1 ruble. It's less than a cent, but it's still important. And I'm in kind of a unique position here because since I'm running this, that it doesn't have maybe have this huge viewership or something like that, but I can promote something here, and people maybe will vote for it more. And this is going to be more important as time goes on, and as people are paid out and the economy starts working, because it gives them more exposure and stuff like this. But you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's...
Anyway, I think we probably should have to wrap up in maybe 5-10 minutes. I'd like to still continue talking to you after we turn off the broadcast, but we've been broadcasting for an hour now. I think we should start wrapping up. So another, and then we say our goodbyes to the audience, which is non-existent today. I hope you are watching this after the broadcast is over, and more people are going to see this one, because this one was really interesting, I think. Anyway, I'd like to hear some closing words, if you will.
Well, I'm glad I joined today, and I'm glad I found out about this this artist on Golos. Oh, what was his name? I don't remember his Bina Fetish. Yep.
And I'll get him on Steemit, and I'll post about this as soon as we do this, because I really think he deserves some, a chance to better his life, because a lot of the problems in his life are dependent on, kind of, his life sucks, and he is drawing about it. And I left Golos chat because people were like, kind of, yeah, you shouldn't post about this, you shouldn't express yourself, you should be positive. And that's kind of sad, I think.
That's a funny thing to hear from a Russian. That's I wouldn't think a Russian would say that, but I don't know Russian culture well enough, I guess.
That's the point. That's weird. I mean, I was really weirded out and kind of. I meet this guy and I see that he's miserable and he has great artwork, and one of his problems is with money. And I say like, yeah, I know this project that may be going to help you with your money problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone here is like, fuck this guy. Kind of. I was baffled. Anyway, sorry about this. Okay, today was our the first English session of Вечер with Golos that I ran, and Arkanj, Dima, Denis, and P-Funk were with us. It was a really interesting conversation for me, even if it was mostly me ranting. And I'll see you tomorrow. And I think tomorrow is going to be run by Anya. And well, I probably won't see you tomorrow. Anyway, I'll see you on Monday. And this was Вечер with Golos. Bye bye. And well.
Bye.
See you in 2 weeks.